Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant. Today we're talking about the drawbacks of writing too quickly. Today I'm answering a question from PhD student Mahmoud Nessery. Here's what he wrote. I have a problem relating to academic publications. I am very fast with writing. Let me give you an example. My supervisor may take 10 days to write a scientific paper, but it takes me just 3 days. After I revise the paper, my supervisor always says I should slow down and write more carefully. Do you have any advice for me? Thanks for the question, Mahmoud. I think you'll have a tough time convincing a lot of people that writing too quickly is the problem. With an ability like that, you'll be the envy of exhausted PhD students around the world. Much like people who struggle to lose or gain weight, each side envies the other and can't imagine what the opposite problem is like. The majority of writers, however, struggle with getting words on the page. They agonize over every word and struggle sentence by sentence. This excruciating process usually involves editing while writing. Aside from causing a lot of grief, this slows down writing considerably. I call this group of people natural editors. On the opposite side, there are also natural writers. This smaller segment of people has no difficulty with getting words on the page. They love writing and their brains explode with new ideas all the time. While natural editors want to spend all their time on editing and nothing else, natural writers prefer to do the opposite. For them, editing feels boring, tiresome, and overwhelming. Neither group is better or worse. They each have different strengths and weaknesses. However, if you feel that you're writing too quickly and, as a result, your work is suffering, one of two things is likely happening, or perhaps both. People who write very quickly tend to think very quickly too. Their thoughts shoot off in many different directions and they have no difficulty in generating a large volume of work very quickly. That said, the quality of this work can sometimes suffer due to a lack of time thinking in advance of writing. Spending time reflecting on what you want to say before you actually say it allows you to find the best, most valuable conclusions to make. One more quick thing I'll mention about thinking. I've said it many times before, but the best place to do your thinking is never at your desk. Get away from your computer, preferably while moving or getting exercise. You'll find your thoughts come more easily and you'll struggle less with sorting them out. The other issue that might be affecting your writing speed is you may not be taking enough time for editing. Many natural writers love writing, but they dislike editing. It feels like too much hard work to them. But everyone needs to edit, and editing is the only way to become a better writer. By my calculation, you should spend twice as long editing as you do writing. So, if you take 20 hours to write a paper, then you should be prepared to spend 40 hours editing it. There's another aspect to editing relating to speed that I think you should consider. Incubation time. Incubation is needed for all creative endeavors, but especially for writing. Leaving your work alone for a certain period of time will allow you to disassociate the writing part from the editing. The amount of time to leave your writing unreviewed will depend in no small part on how much time you have. If you're on a tight deadline to finish something, try to step away from it for at least a day before you start editing. I've written a blog post on incubation and I include the link below. It's incredibly impressive that you and your supervisor are able to produce papers for peer-reviewed publications so quickly. Many academics I've worked with struggle to produce 3 to 4 such papers a year. The fact that you're able to write these papers in just 3 days suggests to me that you might need to increase your thinking time, or your editing time, or perhaps both. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from writing professor and Pulitzer Prize winner Junot Diaz, who says, "A writer is a writer because even when there is no hope, even when nothing you do shows any sign of promise, you keep writing anyway." Thanks for your question, Mahmoud. I hope you're able to slow down your writing, not for the mere sake of slowing down, but so that you can devote more time to thinking and editing.